You're listening to Pombo and Peter's Picks, the home of your favorite sports betting podcast. Presented by The Daily Goat.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Pombo and Peter's Picks. I'm Jason Pombo, joined as always by Peter Ralphs. Peter, how we doing today?
Pretty good. It's a good week. Last week, we were pretty bad, 0-5. This week, turned around 3-2. I'm the big winner this week. You know, best news that you'll ever hear on this podcast. Best news you hear all year, all week. Nah, never mind. Matt, I know you're listening somewhere. Congratulations. Your Dolphin team is 3-0. 2 is not a failure.
Congratulations, Matt. Shout out to the graphics guy, Matt Cunha.
Yeah, he's got an excused absence. He's a engaged man now. He's not fired for the fourth time or whatever.
Yeah,
he's him every week.
Matt's been fired. Who do you think's been fired more, Matt or Tua, in your mind?
Tua, but Matt's getting up there.
Yeah, it's getting close. It's probably 15-12.
I was about to permanently fire him because he put it out in our group chat. He's like, yeah, I can't do the graphic again this week. I was like, oh, okay. Then he got engaged. He's got a free pass, I guess.
So were you gonna come in and blast him if he did?
I was gonna be like, what's so important? You're on a cruise, like you're on vacation.
Wasn't he just on a cruise 2 months ago?
Yeah, you're just on a cruise, and I know it's for work, but you're like in Virginia. What were you doing?
Classified
information.
Yeah, exactly.
But all seriousness, congratulations, Matt.
Shout out Matt. Shout out Matt with the graphics. He'll be back, I think, next week. Maybe.
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe. Who knows? But as Peter said, Peter, I'll let you go first since you were the big winner this week as you went 3-2.
Oh, you did worse? Yikes.
I did. I know.
All right, so sad news again. I'm out of Survivor. I should have been out of Survivor
Officially
week 1.
Officially out.
Chiefs screwed me. I think the NFL rigged that game, to be honest. Muff punts. No, come on. Chiefs got 500 yards of offense. Couldn't move the ball. That line was so bad. It was. If you ask anybody if they bet on the Colts, you could find nobody. It shifted to 5.5. Lost that one. And then the Chargers didn't even show up. Justin Herbert, don't even get a shot, bro. -7, that's over. Ravens -3, good. Lamar Jackson, good. Under Green Bay, Tampa Bay, 41.5.
Way under.
They suck. Way under. And Falcons, 3 weeks in a row, covering the spread. Marcus Mariota, comeback player of the year.
Boom. So Peter 3-2, but he is unfortunately out of Survivor. No asterisks attached. He is officially gone. No Twitter polls. His team, the Kansas City Chiefs, lost as clean as can be.
And my premium pick of the week, I'm 0-3. Thanks.
Well, you can't hit the damn premiums, man.
No, I can't.
You can't. So Peter did one game better than me. I went 2-3. Again, I am now 0-3, picking Thursday Night Football. And this past week, I lost. I had the Steelers +4.5 against the Browns. I felt good at halftime. Pittsburgh was up, and I don't know. I felt like I had a pretty good shot at that one. And then I thought, I'm screwed. Maybe a backdoor cover. Then it was a pick 6 at the end, and yeah, that ended a lot of people's lives that had a teaser on that game. So I lost that one. I also lost the Texans +2.5 against the Bears. That was a pretty close game. Houston led for a while, but Chicago did just enough to eke out a win against the Texans. And I also got the 49ers wrong. 49ers -1.5 against the Broncos. They lost by a point to Denver in a defensive battle, 11-10.
Yeah, they playing
game.
ping pong, 11-10.
Yeah, which we'll get into later. But yeah, that was an L. However, my premium pick of the week was correct. The Rams -3.5 against the Cardinals. Rams covered in that one. Cardinals did not look great on that one. And yeah, that's what happened with that. And then I also had the Eagles -6.5 against the Commanders, and they won 24-8. And that was a huge win for that organization because they're now 3-0, and you see Carson Wentz got sacked 9 times.
Washington Commanders, yikes.
Yeah, yikes to the 10th degree. He gets sacked 9 times. Yeah, real bad. So yeah, 2-3 on the week. I got my premium pick of the week right, and I also got my survivor pick of the week, which was the Rams. So I'm going to continue on to week 4, Peter. And I'm sorry, I'm going to leave you dead on week 3.
It's all right. I hope you have a perfect Survivor season. Hopefully you're in a real Survivor League. Are you in a real Survivor League?
I am in one. I'm still alive.
Oh, nice.
So
Are you going with your picks on this podcast?
I have, yeah. I have been consistent. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah. So that's good. I don't know how long I'm gonna last. I don't love the board this week. But well, who knows? I'm hoping, Peter. I want to make it to. What do you think? What should be a realistic goal?
There's 18 games now. Oh, 18 weeks. 9.
9. If I can get to 9, I'd be impressed. I don't know. That I feel like I got a long way to go for that. But yeah, I think it's a good start. Hey, that'll be one less. Matt's probably rooting for us to lose. It's one less graphic he has to make.
Well, all right. In his defense too, he did make the Survivor graphic.
He did. He did.
So
He did. I woke up Sunday and I was like, "Oh no, we forgot the Survivor graphic." Text Matt, and sure enough, Matt got back to us really quick. So yeah, shout out for Matt for that one.
you
But
might have to do that this week, though. I don't think he's.
Yeah, no, I will.
I think he's in Disney with his fiance, or
Yeah, no,
like
I will. Yeah, I will be doing
going to
that
see
graphic.
Tua or like something like that. I don't know.
Oh, he sent me. He actually 10 minutes ago he sent me pictures. He's some Star Wars. So he's Disney.
Yeah,
Star
I think
Wars,
that's a fake. I think that's like a fake story. To be honest,
you think that's just an old picture?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's like, I don't know. I don't know about you, Matt.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm Peter. I'll make sure that graphic is done by me. Yeah, completely space that one out. All right, Peter. Let's do a little bit of a recap of Week 3 before we talk about some other things besides some NFL football this week. We're going to talk a little bit of NBA, and we're going to talk a little bit of baseball at the end of the show. So again, if you're a fan of the Boston Celtics or the Sox, stay in till the end. I know we've been football heavy for the last month. Peter, we're going to have to think of a segment to do during football season in which I just ask you questions that are non-football related.
Things that nobody cares about.
5 questions that nobody cares about. Something that isn't football related. But can they be sports related?
5 questions about non-pigs.
Okay, all right.
Because of the pigskin.
Okay, all right. Well, all right, we're going to start it this week. Boom.
All right, there you go.
I got it in my mind, Peter. As we get on the show, I'll try to think of some questions for you. But
even
Peter,
if it's crap questions, who cares?
It's okay. I'll try.
Just throw it on there.
We'll throw it on there. All right, Peter. First thing, you talked about the Chiefs game, and I think that's probably a good place to start. The Chiefs, they fell to the Colts 20-17. The Colts finally get their first win of the season. They moved to 1-1-1, and the Chiefs fall to 2-1, their first defeat of the season. Pat Mahomes was 20 of 35 for 262 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Matt Ryan had his best game as a member of the Colts. He was 27 of 37 for 222 yards. He threw 2 touchdown passes. Michael Pittman was great, 8 catches for 72 yards. This was a game that the Colts had to have, and they got it. I'm sure it upset you, Peter. I'm sure it upset a lot of bettors because at least 80% of the money was on the Chiefs, it felt like.
Yeah, and the line was going the other way, as I said. I mean, Patrick Mahomes was fighting with Eric Bieniemy after the first half. I don't know what that's about. I mean, you're Patrick Mahomes. I know you want to go for it all the time, but trust your coach, I guess. You had a 10-point lead. I mean, special teams, terrible. Doesn't make sense that Butker is out, but that's not really your fault. And then you can't run the ball at all. Just can't. I don't know if it's because of the line, because the line's pretty good.
Who do you think was the leading rusher for the Chiefs?
Oh, it's probably going to be like Jerick McKinnon or something.
Nope. Patrick Mahomes, 4 carries, 26 yards.
Oh, good. And they are missing Tyreek Hill, but who isn't missing Tyreek Hill, I guess?
Yeah, and it felt like week 1 when they blew doors against the Arizona Cardinals. The offense looked great. It looked explosive, but as time has kind of progressed, maybe it was more that the Arizona Cardinals defense is just that bad and depleted because the Chiefs offense the last 2 games, I felt like it struggled at times. Now, I understand they got the win against the Chargers, but Peter, I think we both can agree that Patrick Mahomes did not look necessarily at his best against the Chargers in that game. It felt like they probably should have lost that game, and they didn't, obviously, but they could have. Mahomes in his last 2 games has thrown for under 300 yards, and his completion percentage has been at around 63%. So I don't know. I felt like he struggled the last 2 games. I know he's only thrown 1 pick all season, but it felt like the Chiefs offense has hit a little bit of a wall. So I think that's something to look at going forward. Do I still think they're the favorite in the AFC West? I do. I think that division. Again, we'll talk about some teams later on. I think the division is looking a little overrated right now, but I still think the Chiefs have some issues offensively. Whether it's they need to run the ball better, whether it's Mahomes need to find a true guy, because we talked about how some weeks it would be Juju Smith-Schuster, some weeks it would be Travis Kelce, some weeks it would be Marquez Valdez-Scantling, some weeks it's Clyde Edwards-Helaire. But that can only go so far when you're playing good teams. And I think somebody really needs to emerge there, especially if they're struggling running the football. So I don't think it was a good showing for the Chiefs offense. And it's something to look at going forward.
Yeah, but it's the Chiefs, week 3. I'm
Yeah.
sure it'll be fine.
Again, caveat here that I was going to mention to start at the show, but it kind of slipped my mind. I know we're on week 3, Peter, but it felt like, to me anyway, this football season, it's been a roller coaster. Some weeks you have teams flying high, untouchable. Other weeks it looks really, really bad. And it feels like it should take about, 5 to 6 weeks before we get a real good read on how these teams necessarily stack up, especially with the lack of the preseason, and especially with an extended regular season.
I think there's a stat that it's like scoring is down like 12%.
It is
right, from last
It
year or
is.
something like that.
Yep. And the under, I believe, is hitting 62% or something like that, 60%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even if you're not really noticing, look at your fantasy football scores, listeners. I'm sure they've been down. Peter, I'm sure yours have been as well. Everybody, right? Across the board.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I have Lamar Jackson
Okay.
and Mark Andrews everywhere. So
Okay.
no,
Well,
I agree. I mean, I've Russell
you know what I
Wilson
mean?
places.
Seriously, just
yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of potent offenses that are struggling. I don't know. It's definitely been a weird season so far. And again, it's so early. I don't really want to put too much stock into it. I'm not going to put too much stock into any performances until we're about 5 or 6 games in. Then I think we get a real firm read about where teams can kind of stack up. So I feel like it's very early. Speaking of potent offenses, the Buffalo Bills offense was held to under 20 points against the Dolphins this past week. Miami ended up hanging on to beat the Bills 21-19. Tua was 13 of 18, 186 yards and a touchdown. He left the game, but did return after much speculation that he had a concussion. I guess the NFLPA is investigating that. I guess Miami says it's a back injury. And
let's fire everybody in Miami. That's an absolute crime. Tua can't even see, and he's getting trot back out there. Listen, Teddy Bridgewater looked like crap. I understand why you need Tua back in the game. I understand the 3-0, but that's a crime. Everybody should be arrested in Miami.
So you don't take concussions as you take those seriously?
Oh, I mean, listen, if you went to the locker room to get checked out, I mean, I don't know if you can trust that. And then he just waddled back onto the field and threw a big bomb to Jalen Waddle.
I'm curious what his usage was when he returned. Like, I'm curious how many passes he threw. I know he only threw 18 for the game, but I'm curious how many passes he threw from after he returned. But again, Miami plays this Thursday against the Bengals, and he is supposedly questionable. He's going to try to play. I guess he's battling an ankle and a back injury. But yeah, the NFL is investigating that head injury. If they find anything, I'm sure it's nothing more than a fine or anything like that. It won't be like a lose a draft pick. I don't think.
They don't have any draft picks to take anyways.
That is true. Other side of things, the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen threw the ball 63 times, Peter. 63. The Bills they ran 90 plays offensively. 90. And they were held to 19 points. Allen was sacked 4 times. I think he lost a fumble. He threw for 400 yards. Stephon Diggs was held to less than 100 yards receiving. He only had 74. Devin Singletary had 9 receptions for 78 yards. So, Peter, how do you really read this game? Do you think this is more of an anomaly for the Bills, that they were coming in with a banged-up secondary? They were missing a lot of guys on the defensive side of the ball, going into a Miami environment that it's really hot to play, especially because it was a short week. Buffalo played on the Monday. How do you really categorize this game?
Yeah, people were in and out all day because it's Miami. Then people were cramping, obviously. And there was more injuries for the Bills. They're probably the second most injury-prone team out there right now.
Yeah.
Well, we'll probably get to the other team. I feel bad for the other team too. But no, I think it's an anomaly. I mean, Bills need to run the ball. Singletary is not the answer. I don't even think James Cook is the answer either, but you make do with what you got. Their D line is still amazing. Their secondary might be a problem.
Yeah. They're missing a lot in the secondary. Tre'Davious White is still not back. He got hurt last year. They're missing Poyer, their star safety. So they're missing some pieces, and I do think that could come back to bite them in the future. And you're right about running the ball. Felt like week 1 against the Rams, they tried to make it an effort to run the ball. In this game, they didn't necessarily try that. Josh Allen, of course, was the leading rusher for the Bills at 47 yards, but this is how they distributed the carries. Zach Moss got 4 carries for 46 yards. Devin Singletary had 9 carries for 13 yards, and James Cook had 1 carry for 3 yards. So James Cook, it felt like to me, has gotten buried since he fumbled in week 1, so he really isn't getting the touches. Devin Singletary, it feels like he's evolving to more of a pass-catching back. And Zach Moss, again, he had 4 carries for 46 yards, but most of the year he struggled to me. So again, that's an issue for Buffalo. But I would be more worried about the secondary than the run game if I'm Buffalo.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, Buffalo, I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I'm not panicking. I'm not but it is a concern because this was a team that a lot of people said they would start the year 10-11-0 and nobody would come near them. And I don't know. It was definitely I do agree with you. Like, I think this might have been a one-off. I like them next week, as we're going to talk about in our pick segment, but it's just a very odd situation for them having the ball running the 90 plays and scoring 19 points. Like, that's absurd to me. Yeah. So it was a weird game too, especially you see the butt fumble. I'm sorry. The butt punt.
Yep.
Crazy. Very odd, Peter. Very, very odd. All right, Peter, let's talk about the game that I was at this past Sunday. Baltimore Ravens against
Can you
the
please
New
stop
England
going to the
Patriots.
game? Stop.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry.
Stop.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Like, Lamar Jackson was toying with the whole defense the whole game. I don't think he tried throughout the whole game.
Hey,
and you got Mac Jones. And you got Mac Jones, dude.
Look, I have to
go. And he's an actual P word, because if that's just an ankle sprain, I thought he tore his Achilles or something.
Look, I have to go the next home game. They play Detroit. I have to go. You know why I have to go.
Well, listen, bring Noah.
I have to go. I have to go. I got to bring the yo man.
Yeah, you're bringing Noah, but when the Patriots lose versus the Lions, which should not happen ever.
If they lose against the Lions, I might take a week off.
If I was your dad or whoever's running those tickets, I'd be like, yeah, you're banned for a while.
I might take a week off. All right, so the Ravens, as Peter said, they won 37-26. Lamar Jackson was awesome in this game. It felt like, all right, so again, we're 3 games in, and I think if people could cast MVP votes, I'd vote for Lamar Jackson. He was 18 of 29 passing, 218 yards, 4 touchdowns, did throw an interception. He also ran for 107 yards on the ground. He was effective, absolutely effective. He had a quarterback rating at 110.3. Mark Andrews was also great in this game. He had 3 or 4 spectacular catches. He had 8 catches for 89 yards and 2 touchdowns. Other side of things, Mac Jones, too many mistakes. 22 of 32, 321 yards, no touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. And as Peter mentioned, he looks like he's going to miss time due to a high ankle sprain. The time frame is up in the air. My guess,
we'll see. Weeks. Day by day. We're taking it day by day. I hate you.
4 weeks. But Peter, let's start. So we started off talking about the Ravens. Disappointing performance for the Patriots because they were right in that game. And if it wasn't for the turnovers, Peter, I bet you they win that game.
If it wasn't for Devontae Parker,
You mean Nelson Aguilar?
Devontae Parker,
What Parker do?
The last play of the game, right? Oh, was that Aguilar when he didn't even know the route? And then
which interception are you referring to? The last one?
The back in the end zone.
That was Parker. Yeah,
Parker, you're right about that one. I mean, you're throwing it right. I mean, it should have been way further than it was. I forget who should have got a pick 6. Patrick Queen or something.
Yep. But I mean, too many mistakes. Yeah. Too many mistakes, like you said. And the Devontae Parker one. So Phil Perry of NBC Sports Boston, he had the all 22 film of it, and I haven't watched it myself yet, but I plan on it. And he they showed an aerial view of the field, and Mac Jones put his hands on his helmet, which that means we're going to the second play. So when you're in an NFL huddle, they call 2 plays. When you go like that, checking out of the first play, you're going to the second play, right? So then you see all the Patriot receivers, they put their fingers to their helmet like they notice. And Devontae Parker, for some reason, he didn't see it. He's going like this with his palms in the air, he doesn't know what the hell's going on. And then, of course, Mac Jones, he's under duress, tries to throw the ball, and Devontae Parker is not where Mac Jones thought he would be. Mac Jones still shouldn't have he should have just threw it away, but he didn't, and he thought Devontae Parker would be there, and he wouldn't. I put that more on Jones, I think, but
And then Mac Jones started screaming on the sideline, "That's F and cover one." Blah 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 blah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure he quit on the team.
I felt like Peter, if you take away the mistakes, this was the best I've seen Mac Jones throw the ball in terms of deep. Absolutely, yeah. The balls to Devontae Parker, they were the best balls I've seen him throw. The one to Nelson Aguilar over the middle. Yeah. I think
I feel bad for him though. He's getting killed back there. And I forgot who said it on Twitter, but he has more X-rays than he does wins this year.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. But I guess he's 2 past X-rays because he didn't break anything. The high ankle sprains, that's a really tough injury though, because that's something that's going to linger and loom for months. Now they're debating if he's going to have surgery or not on it. I guess the timetable is quicker if he has surgery. So there's this. I guess there is this surgery that was started at Alabama, and Tua actually got it too. It's called what's it called? Hang on.
It's called I'm Tua and I'm terrible.
It's called the tightrope. It's called tightrope surgery. They started doing it at Alabama for their high ankle sprains, and it worked. Tua, who got hurt on the last game of the season before, like the national championship, and then he played on that less than 4 weeks later. I think it was December 2nd, he got hurt, and then he played December 28th in the college football semifinal. And I don't know if that's something that Mac Jones is going to do because Tua had it. Jalen Hurts, I believe, also had it when he was at Bama. So, like, it's something they've used. So, I don't know. But it's tough because that's an injury that's going to linger no matter what. He's looking at, again, if he could play in 4 weeks, great. But you're looking at a situation where he's going to be uncomfortable for 4 or 6 months, which sucks. Because I don't think he looked as comfortable in the pocket as he did last year, as opposed to as he did, the last 3 games. So huge problem, Peter. Our guy Brian Hoyer, our training camp hero, likely to be the guy for the next couple of weeks. Peter, I know we've seen a lot of Brian Hoyer Patriot practices. We've
glorified offensive coordinator.
Is mocked the right word? I don't think we've mocked Hoyer.
No, we love Hoyer.
I think we respect him.
Matt's dad, we love Paul. Mr. Cunha is the greatest person ever.
Peter, I will say, I'm gonna say this right now. If Brian Hoyer and the Patriots win against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, Peter, I'm gonna buy a Brian Hoyer jersey just for the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna wear it, but like just for the podcast.
You'll have one, and then his parents will have one, and maybe if he has kids.
Yeah, that'll be it. But that tells you the state of the Patriots. The one thing the Patriots do have in their favor is their schedule is like at a weak point compared to
it's soft. It's soft.
Yeah.
Lions, Browns, Bears, Jets, Colts, Vikings.
Yeah. So I think, let's say Mac Jones is out 4 games. Green Bay is a tough one, of course, but then they're home against the Lions, like you just said. At Cleveland, now it's a little bit more difficult, but Jacoby Brissett at quarterback, you should be in that game. Then they're at home against, like you said, Chicago, and then the Jets.
See, what you should do, right? You should go all the way to the Bears game. If they lose to the stupid Bears with Justin Fields that can't even throw the ball, then you're banned for life.
That Bears offense, so I understand they're 2-1, but wow, man.
Then you're banned for life. If they lose to the Bears Monday Night Football, oof.
Yeah, at home too, not even like in Chicago. Yeah, that would be that to me feels like the biggest layup of like the games we've mentioned. Green Bay, of course, is the most difficult. In Cleveland, it's not easy. I think Cleveland can hold its water. We've seen that. So that one I don't necessarily chalk up as an easy W. You should be able to beat Detroit at home.
I don't know. The Lions defense, offense is.
I know. I get that, but I still think you should win that game. You should. All right, Peter, let's move on to, let's go talk about my Raiders, right? Let's talk about how great of a football season I've had, Peter.
Oh, wait, speaking of the Raiders, I wanted to bring up before we get off the Patriots.
Sure.
When it was before the 4th down play, the 3rd and 10 draw, I was like, Jason's smiling somewhere.
Damn right I'm smiling. Can't get rid of that play in the playbook.
Nope. I thought Josh McDaniels was there. I was like,
the 4th down play call was worse than the 3rd down play
call.
call.
Yeah. Kendrick Bourne just running power.
Yeah, right at the sticks. Yeah, made no sense.
Okay.
Yep. All right, Peter, let's talk. So again, it's been a real rough football season for me. I don't want to say all my fantasy teams suck, but all right, I have a family fantasy league that's been going on for like 11, 12 years now. It's a serious, like, there's a lot of smack talk. Mattson, our graphics guy. Like it gets intense. And I've made the playoffs 8 out of 11 years, right? I've won the thing twice. Everyone kind of hates me because like my team's usually pretty good and all that, and I talk shit. And this year, Peter, I'm off to an 0-3 start.
Ooh, let's see. I'm 0-3 in the league. Who do you have? Let's see. Who do I have that you would probably have? You have Russell Wilson?
No.
You have DJ Moore?
Yes.
That's why. You have let's see. You got Brandon Cooks?
I do not know.
That's about it.
So the reason my team sucks, not to really go off, I have Tom Brady, who is no pass catchers. CeeDee Lamb doesn't have a quarterback. He had a good game yesterday, but Alvin Kamara has been hurt and has not been good.
Yeah, James doesn't throw to him either.
Yeah, that has been a reason why I've been holding else. But yeah, I'm 0-3 in that league, Peter, which is annoying because now I get shit for it. My guy Mac Jones is hurt, and we all know how much I love Mac Jones. Patriots are 1-2. Josh McDaniels is 0-3 with the Raiders, and you know how much I've hyped up the Raiders. It's not been good. And I'm sure there's something else that I could think of too, but I just haven't yet. It's just nothing's
the
coming.
Falcons are 0-3.
Yeah, but they've covered.
Yeah, they
covered.
And
they're not 0-3. They're 1-2. They won a game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and they've covered. You know what? The Falcons, they haven't been as bad as people anticipated. They keep covering 3-0 against the spread, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But talk about the Raiders, Peter. Like I said, they're off to an 0-3 start. They should be 2-1. They really should be, but they're 0-3. And this game might have been the worst they've looked. They fell down early. I think it was a 14-3 deficit against the Titans. They came back at the end, but they weren't able to complete the comeback. They lost 24-22 against Ryan Tannehill and the Titans. Tannehill was 19 of 27 for 264 yards, touchdown and a pick. Derrick Henry had 20 carries for 85 yards, but Derek Carr continues to really not flourish under McDaniels as I anticipated he would. Again, it's so early, but Carr was 26 of 44 for 303 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Devontae Adams was held in check again. He had 5 catches for 36 yards. The Raiders fall to 0-3, and now they have a big division matchup against the Broncos this week to avoid an 0-4 start. So, Peter, do you think the Raiders are what's the issue with the Raiders? What do you think is the issue?
Josh McDaniels.
If
you want a real answer, I mean, Devontae Adams isn't getting the ball. Darren Waller isn't getting the ball. They have no run game. Josh Jacobs doesn't look explosive as he used to, and their defense is terrible. Their defense is garbage.
I agree. I think you hit all the points in that. I don't think McDaniels does not like Josh Jacobs. It's clear. Do you remember McDaniels played him in that first preseason game in the Hall of Fame game? He was the only starter playing.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, what the hell? I thought they were going to try to trade Jacobs. I'm sure they did, but they couldn't find a trade partner and it didn't work out. So he's the guy there and he has not looked good. And like you said, Devontae Adams needs to get the ball more. He needs to be a focal point of the offense, and he's just not that yet. And is it more scheme-based? Because if we look at Josh McDaniel's system, the guys that have success are the slot receiver and the tight end. And Devontae Adams is more of that stretch the field.
Isn't
That's
even
true.
getting the ball either.
That is true. Yeah, Waller is in the same kind of boat. So is Carr not fitting in well with the system? So this is the first time he's run like this sort of, we'll call it the Tom Brady system. For the past nearly decade, he's run like that John Gruden style. It's more like West Coast. It's a lot different. It's closer to like that McVay Shanahan mold. So it's different, but I thought he would be able to really get things easy. I wonder if McDaniels has the thing overcomplicated, like the Patriots have kind of had it for many years, and receivers and tight ends kind of struggle to get on the same page. Remember all those years the Patriots would really struggle to get guys involved because they couldn't get on the same page with the playbook. We've seen guys over the years like that with New England, and I could see a similar instance going on with the Raiders with Josh McDaniels. I don't think the team is bad. I think they'll get better, but it's definitely not an ideal start. They've been in all 3 ball games, Peter. They should have won against Arizona. Week 1 against the Chargers, they were right in that game until the end. In this game, they came back at the end. So it's not like they've been getting their ass kicked. They've been right in there, and they just haven't been able to finish. So that's an issue, closing games. They got to find out how to win, and they right now don't know how to win.
Maybe this is what Bill wants. Listen, didn't name
McDaniels back.
McDaniels for the 3rd time. McDaniels had a closed-door meeting with Mark Davis after the game. Who knows?
One other thing, Peter, that's been a monumental disappointment. You mentioned the defense. Chandler Jones has been a complete non-factor.
Max Crosby hasn't either, though.
Jones has been a lot worse. I'm looking up how many sacks he has. It is not many. He doesn't have a sack at all.
No.
Jones has 0 sacks, and he's played He played 90% of the snaps in week 1 and week 2. This week it went down to 69%. He has not looked good at all. And I'm a little surprised. I thought he would age well. He came off some really good seasons in Arizona, but he did get hurt last year, remember? He is not the same, and teams are running on him, and it's not been good. He hasn't been able to get to the quarterback. I thought Max Crosby and Chandler Jones would be a nice 1-2 tandem as pass rushers, and that hasn't been the case. All right, Peter, let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about, let's go with the Sunday night football game.
Snooze fest.
This is snooze fest between the San Francisco 49ers and the Denver Broncos. This was a game where there was a lot of storylines. Kyle Shanahan, who, of course, Mike Shanahan, his father, was the coach in Denver. Kyle Shanahan was born in Denver. Like, it was a lot of that sort of thing. Russell Wilson's had a lot of good battles with the 49ers over the years. So, I thought this game was exciting. I was glad it was a Sunday night game. Jimmy Garoppolo at the helm for San Francisco now. I thought San Francisco would benefit from that in the short term. And that wasn't the case in this game. Both quarterbacks were bad. Both offenses were real bad. Broncos held on to win 11-10. Yes, that's a football score, not a baseball score.
Have you ever seen a safety and a pick six at the same time? Or whatever that was at the end of the game?
Something like that? No, that was weird. The game was full of surprises. Garoppolo stepping outside the back of the end zone. It was really weird. Garoppolo, 18-29, 211 yards, a touchdown, a pick. He was sacked 4 times. Other side, Russell Wilson, 20-33, 184 yards. He was sacked 4 times. All right, Peter, who looked worse on Sunday, Russell Wilson or Jimmy Garoppolo?
I'm going to go with Russell Wilson because he's on my fantasy team, although he did run the ball like himself. That's fine. I mean, you got to get Jerry Jeudy more involved. I don't know if it's more the scheme, more Nathaniel Hackett's fault, more I'm not in Pete Carroll's offense anymore. But Russell Wilson isn't this bad, right? Like,
you know what, Peter?
He looks bad.
The first 2 weeks, I was like, this isn't on Wilson. This is more on Nathaniel Hackett. Doesn't know what he's doing, this and that. But Russell Wilson looks really bad. He's missing open receivers. He's not audibling at the line when he has to. He's taking some bad sacks. It looks really bad for Russell Wilson in Denver. They just gave him a boatload of money. Man, they better hope it's Nathaniel Hackett and the offensive coordinator not on the same page as Russell Wilson. Because if it's Wilson, Peter, they're screwed. And Wilson, again, he's only in his, early mid-30s. What is he, 33, 34, whatever it is. I understand he had that thumb surgery last year. I don't think it's that. Is it more that Russell Wilson just isn't the guy that we thought he was? And I don't want to think that because Russell Wilson's been a winner his whole career and he's represented a lot of good football. And I don't know. This looks real bad, Peter. I know they're 2-1.
Yeah, be facetious. I mean, first place Denver Broncos.
Yeah, that's true. They did beat the first place Denver Broncos. Yeah.
They are the first place Denver Broncos.
You're right. It just feels weird to say.
They might have the best defense in the NFL, though. If not, it's the Bucs or the Packers.
It's top
49ers,
5.
But,
it's top 5. They have a good defensive squad. You're right, absolutely. Kareem Jackson, he looks great, man. Secondary looks good as well. So, other side of things with the 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo, I know a lot of people are upset with his performance. I think it'll get better because you got to remember with Garoppolo here, not to defend him, because again, he made some inexcusable decisions. Garoppolo was pretty much isolated from the team until the end of the preseason. He wasn't even allowed to practice with the team, Peter. He would practice on a separate field. He wasn't even given a playbook. So I think that's something that might take a couple weeks. He didn't play in the preseason. I think this is more trying to get his feet wet. I understand he knows and has chemistry with guys like Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, but maybe it just takes a couple weeks to get his feet wet.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, George Kittle coming back is a plus. We saw that in the run game.
Absolutely.
They'll be fine. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo has to get carried by his defense. Almost did. And if they won the game, I mean, we wouldn't even talk about it.
You're right. The 49ers fall to 1-2. Denver moves to 2-1. Another game, Peter. Packers Bucks. You predicted the under in this game, and you absolutely nailed this. The Packers won 14-12. Talk about a Brady Rodgers snooze fest. Tom Brady was 31-42 for 271 yards and a touchdown. His leading receiver was Russell Gage at 12 catches for 87 yards. Brady, of course, was without Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Julio Jones. He was out his top 3 receivers, of course. Other side of things, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Rodgers was 27 of 35, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Romeo Dobbs, he had 8 catches, 73 yards and a touchdown. He looks like he could be the number 1 down there in Green Bay. But these offenses still don't look great to me, both of them. Green Bay's look better than Tampa Bay's, but wow.
Yeah, Green Bay is having too much AJ Dillon. I don't know why Aaron Jones is in there more. The Packers have a top 5 defense. They're gonna have to. They only can win one way. Is it's with Aaron Jones. It's not even with Aaron Rodgers at this point. And the other side, I mean, Brady has no help. He has no O line. Feel bad for him. He might be contemplating why did I come back in the first place.
Yeah,
he is 2-1. That division's so soft, so soft. So like you should sleepwalk to the NFC Championship game, but I don't know. I mean, he's gonna get killed back there. Mike Evans should help next week. I don't know when Godwin's coming back, but
yeah, Godwin could be close to a month. But yeah, Evans, like you said, should be back next week after his suspension. I don't know how much help Julio Jones is going to be. He's hurt and he's older, so who knows? But Russell Gage looked good. But I have some real question marks about this Bucs team. The offensive line, I don't know how much better it's going to get. And Tom Brady is just, it's not necessarily on him because there's a lot of moving parts. Like we talked about before the season started. New coach, banged up offensive line, lost Gronk, Cameron Brate. I mean,
what's Gronk coming through that door?
I don't think he is.
Oh, really? That's coming. That's definitely coming.
You think so? I don't think so. I really don't. I think this is what it is. Could the Bucs make another acquisition in free agency or in the trade market? Sure. Do they try to bring in a guy like Odell? Maybe. I know they just signed Cole Beasley, but I wouldn't be surprised if they added someone. They need help in the offensive line. That's the biggest issue with this Bucs team. Which offense will be better by the end of the season, the Packers or the Bucs?
The Packers, I think, because I like Dobbs. Dobbs should be fine. I like Aaron Jones. They have a better O-line than the Bucs do. So
it's close. I think I lean Packers. Rodgers has a better offensive line. I think ultimately the run game with Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon is probably better than the Bucs with Leonard Fournette. And I think somehow the Packers skill position players are going to break through. They haven't yet, but I think they will. Could it be Dobbs? Could it be Lazard? I don't know. But I do think ultimately they'll both make the playoffs, both probably be in there late in the playoffs, but I just don't necessarily see them as like offensive juggernauts anymore. I don't. Last game, Peter.
End of an era.
Is for real. End of an era. Brady at 45, Rodgers at age 42. Yeah, crazy. Last game I want to talk about is the Monday night game between the Cowboys and the Giants. Cowboys won 23-16 over the Giants. This was a pretty good game for Monday Night Football. It was a close game. Cooper Rush, undefeated as a starter. He was 21 of 31 for 215 yards and a touchdown. Tony Pollard had 105 yards on the ground, and CeeDee Lamb finally got involved, despite the fact that he dropped a 50-yard touchdown pass that would have won me a fantasy league. Lamb had 8 catches for 87 yards and a touchdown. Other side of things, Daniel Jones, I don't want to say struggled in this game, but he did not have his best game. He was 20 of 37 for 196 yards. Saquon Barkley, he was explosive, 14 carries, 81 yards for a touchdown. He also pitched in 45 receiving yards. So the Cowboys, they moved to 2-1. Now, after they lost Dak Prescott, Peter, I think you pronounced him dead.
Oh, did I?
I don't know if you did. I'm pretty
sure.
No,
I pronounced the Colts dead, I think.
Okay, sorry to. It's okay. Maybe they're not dead. We did definitely talk about, are they done?
They are not done. The Eagles are going to be a problem in that division, but the Cowboys look good. Cooper Rush looks good. Zeke Elliott, I think, is toast.
I told you, Pollard's the guy, man. Pollard.
I don't think it's either of them, to be honest.
I think Pollard, the offense runs better with Pollard. I do. I think Pollard he gives you some options as a pass catcher. Can run the ball between the tackles. Zeke, I like him in goal line short yardage situation. Not saying they should scale back Zeke's carries to like 3, but Zeke had 15 carries this game. Yeah, that's something like that's fine. 10 to 15 a game. But he can't be. He's not Derrick Henry. He's not.
Oh, I'm not saying he's Derrick Henry.
But like, I think you need to. You got to sprinkle in Tony Pollard. You can't just give it to Zeke 30 times. I don't think he's that kind of guy anymore. So the Cowboys, Cooper Rush 2-1. Oh, Cooper Rush undefeated. Cowboys 2-1. Prescott could be back in the next 2 to 3 weeks. That's big. So Peter, who do you think has a winning record at the end of the year? Cowboys or the Giants?
Both of them. I think Saquon's
You think they both get above 500?
Yeah, I think Saquon's playing really well. I think their defense is pretty good, and Daniel Jones, I think he's not as bad as he looks in the past.
He's looked
He did
better
make
this year.
that bad
Better.
boneheaded mistake in the fourth quarter, right
Yeah.
to Trayvon Diggs, and he did fumble the ball, I think. But that's what he does. I mean, his receivers didn't help him out. Sterling
And
Shepard out for the year.
yeah, that's a big loss. And Kenny Galladay's nowhere to be found, man.
Oh, Kenny Galladay sucked. He's just cashing that paycheck. As
That's
Greg
tough.
Popovich says, I'm just showing up for the paycheck.
Yeah, exactly. Kenny Galladay was somebody that I expected to not necessarily be a number one receiver, but I thought he would look better than he did last year. And wow, he is one of the most highest paid receivers in football, and his production level has been absurdly bad.
Yeah, I
How
don't know
many
if that's
catches does he have this year? 3?
you got 0 this game.
I know he didn't catch anything this game. He has 2.
Oh, he's too nice. I
And he's been
mean,
targeted. He's been targeted 5 times.
2 for 5, 40% clip. I mean, maybe he's like Allen Robinson and the Bears. Just
But
can't get the
Robinson
ball.
really hasn't sparked with the Rams either. He
Yeah, I
caught a
know.
touchdown pass last week, but yeah, it's not good. I think the Giants' offense needs guys that are quick, and I think that's what Brian Dable's looking for. Guys
Oh,
like Richie James.
Tony.
Yeah,
He didn't play, but
yeah, but no, I know what you mean. Wandale Robinson when he plays. I think that's like what they're trying to build towards. Kenny Galladay's more of that big receiver that's sort of built like Allen Robinson, and it's not been good. All right, Peter, do you want to give our picks now or at the end of the show?
we can give our picks now.
All right, let's hit it, Peter. You want to go first since you were the lucky winner last week?
You can go with Survivor first,
Oh yeah, good call.
since I don't have to.
Since you were no longer a Survivor.
To be fair, I should have been out week 1.
My Survivor pick this week is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles over the Jacksonville Jaguars. The game is in Philly. Doug Peterson's finally coming home, and I think the Eagles are going to have a surprise for him.
Jacksonville, and I hope you bet 9-1 to win that division. Trevor Lawrence looks amazing. But yeah, first pick, I have the Dolphins +4 Thursday Night Football. We said that this game is a trap. Tua might not play, but if Tua doesn't play, I can just get all the credit to Teddy Bridgewater. And the Dolphins defense looks pretty good. Joe Burrow is still getting sacked way too much, even though they face the Jets. But explosive offense, 4-0. Everything's coming up, Matt. This engagement. But, yeah.
See, Matt's got like the stocks. Matt's got the stock arrow up. My football year down.
Yeah, you must be living it up. Him and his whole family, honestly.
Yeah, especially him though. He's got everything going for him right now. King of the world.
Have you talked to his dad? Off topic. Has he been like gloating at all?
I haven't talked to his dad. No, I haven't.
No?
I actually haven't seen him. I waved him. He was cutting the grass last week. Gave him a wave. But I haven't seen him since week 1. For me, Peter, I'm going to stick my Thursday night. I'm 0-3. I don't want to be 0-4 this time. So I'm not going to pick a side. I'm going to take the over. Over for this game. Over 47, Bengals, Dolphins. I don't care if it's Tua or Bridgewater. I think over 47 is possible. I think Burrow can put up some points, and I think that Miami Dolphins offense with Mike McDaniel can do enough to put up points. I think Waddle and Tyreek Hill just itself. Look, if Miami can get to 20, I think I'll cover on that game. I should say I think it'll go over. Yeah.
Damn, I'm sorry, Matt. You're gonna have to watch like a 9-3 game now.
Yeah, facts.
Oof.
Don't even bother watching.
Yeah, don't even bother. But yeah, next pick, I have the Falcons +1.5. As we said countless times again, it might be 1-2, but the 3-0 versus the spread. Marcus Mariota looks pretty good. I mean, their whole offense is Drake London or Kyle Pitts or Cordell Patterson out of the backfield. Yeah, they're facing the Browns. The Browns defense looks pretty good, but Jacoby Brissett on the other side. But if you're Browns fans, how disappointed are you if Jacoby Brissett looks kind of good? Well, he looks average. He's fine, and you're paying the other guy just to you know.
It's definitely not ideal. I'm gonna agree with you, Peter. I'm gonna go with the Falcons +1.5. Like we said, they've covered 3 weeks in a row, and it feels like one of us has picked them in the last 3 weeks. So I like them in this spot. They're at home. And I also think that, so again, did you see Myles Garrett? He got into a car accident. They don't know how long he's going to be out or what, but if he misses time, that'll be a big loss for the Browns offense because he is a big playmaker defensively for the Browns. And Marcus Mariota, I know a lot of people shit on him, but He's done okay this year. He really has. I know you've mentioned comeback player of the year and all that. I like the Falcons to win this game. They played well at home in week 1. I like them here. Falcons plus 1.5.
Next pick, got the Cowboys -3. It's more on the Washington defense. I think the Washington defense is terrible. Ron Rivera might get fired. Carson Wentz, it's a good story, but I think you're over. And Cooper Rush is going to be 3-0 in the year.
Yeah, I've been out on Washington since the start of the year, and I'm not surprised how this has kind of unfolded.
Yeah, they need Chase Young back.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the game in London, Peter. Vikings -2.5. Vikings Saints, Peter, set your clock, 9:30 a.m. in London. The Vikings coming off a comeback win against the Lions. They didn't necessarily look great, but I think the Saints are in a pretty interesting spot. Jameis Winston's clearly hurt. Clearly. He has not played well. Throwing a lot of interceptions, turning the ball over. Alvin Kamara is banged up, hasn't got involved. Michael Thomas, same kind of thing. I think this is a good spot for the Vikings. I like them here at -2.5.
Our boy Chris Olave looks really good though.
Damn right he does. Yep.
Looks pretty good. All right, next pick, got the Ravens, Bills over 51.5. Should be a slugfest. Bills should get right on track. They should get a depleted Ravens. We didn't even touch on the Ravens. They lost like 5 other people. Feel bad for them. The bug from last year isn't going to go away. And then Lamar Jackson's going to get the Aaron Judge treatment. He's just going to get the world on fire. But it sucks that he can't test free agency because they're going to just franchise tag him if they can't get a deal with him.
I agree. I think Lamar will get paid. I'm going to agree with you here too, Peter. I like the Bills -3.5. This is a good spot for them. It's a good bounce back. Again, that's a bad loss against Miami, but I think they're going to come back stronger here against Baltimore. I think Josh Allen's going to carve that Ravens defense up, especially that secondary, which is clearly depleted, like you said, weekend injury ridden, whatever you want to call it. And the Bills might be a little bit healthier next week. It's another week in which Gabe Davis gets another week of health because I don't think he would necessarily look right last week against Miami. And I like the Bills here, -3.5. Big win for the Bills.
And my premium pick of the week is -4.5. The Lions versus the Seahawks. It's more on the Seahawks. The Seahawks defense looks terrible. Seahawks, Geno Smith. It might be in need of move to, whatever his name
Drew
is. Drew Lock, maybe. I don't know. They didn't draft the quarterback. They should have drafted the quarterback. They are punting for this year. Lions offense looks amazing. Jared Goff might win some MVP votes. I don't know.
I wouldn't say MVP votes, but he's played well. He's played well. My last pick, I'm going to go with the Eagles. That's going to be my premium pick along with the Survivor. So we're now at 4 straight weeks for which I'm doing that. Eagles -6.5 at home against the Jags. Jags are coming off 2 big wins. It ain't going to be 3. As good of a story as it is that they were able to really take it to Justin Herbert and the Chargers last week and then the week before shut out the Colts. I think the Eagles are going to punch them in the mouth this week at home. Eagles -6.5.
It shows a lot that Doug Peterson when you get rid of stupid Mickey freaking Urban Meyer. And
do you think he
actually looks like a number 1 pick again?
Do you think Doug Peterson gets booed in Philly?
No, he shouldn't because he won a Super Bowl over there.
I think he will. I think it's going to be more.
Why, he won a Super Bowl over there?
Yeah, I know, but I think it ended really poorly there.
Philly special.
I know. I get it. I get it. I think they're really upset about how they operated the quarterback situation. Don't forget, Peter. He benched Jalen Hurts, and we've seen what Jalen Hurts has been able to do now. Remember, who was that 3rd string guy they went to?
Oh, yeah, because they wanted another draft pick because they were facing the Giants.
What was
18 or something?
What was that 3rd string quarterback's name? Oh,
Minshew,
that's gonna kill me.
Josh Dobbs.
No. Nate Sudfeld.
Nate Sudfeld.
Yes, that's how I think Eagles fans remember Doug Peterson. They remember Nate Sudfeld. Yeah. I think he's gonna boot back.
Again, I'll raise you just 2018 or whatever that was.
2017. Yeah, no, I mean, again, you won a Super Bowl, should be, of course, remembered highly in that regard. But no, it's Philly. It's different, man. Different. Not to mention, since he won the Super Bowl, they didn't necessarily light the world on fire. They went 9-7 following the next 2 years, then 4-11-1, and that was it.
Fair.
Yeah. All right, Peter. So that's our picks, a little bit of recap of week 3. You want to get in a little bit of other things?
Yeah.
All right, guess. Peter. Let's hit it. So I'm gonna ask you 5 questions that do not have to do with football, right? Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll sprinkle in a little bit of everything. So first, we'll start off with the Celtics. We didn't get to really talk about them at all since the whole Ime Udoka situation occurred. So what happened last week, Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN tweeted out late Wednesday night, maybe late Tuesday night last week.
Oh, was it last week already?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. It had to be Wednesday because we would have talked about it on Tuesday.
Yeah, I agree that Udoka would be suspended indefinitely for some sort of conduct penalty. This was reported by Woj and Woj only, and nobody else really had a follow-up tweet about it for like 2 hours. And then, you know what? I was very concerned because I was like, is this real? Is this not real? Like, what's going on? I stayed up. I watched the Scott Van Pelt show on ESPN because Woj said he was on. So I stayed up till 12:30, whatever it was. And I watched, and Woj sounded very uncomfortable trying to give details, but he couldn't really give much. And I was concerned that now that I knew it was an actual fact, Woj's account wasn't hacked or anything like that. And I knew that Coach Ime Udoka was in some trouble. Then the following day, we had some other reports that he was allegedly broke numerous conduct policies, and that then the Celtics issued a 1-year suspension on Udoka. Brad Stevens and Wick Grossbeck held a press conference last week and kind of went about how they wanted to go about it. And it's tough. And I don't think Udoka is ever going to coach with the Celtics again. We've read a lot about different reports. Reports have varied, but it felt like the number one thing that people have been saying and that I've been reading has Udoka has that improper, intimate and in Peter, write that out. Sorry. Okay, got it. That Ime Udoka has had improper, intimate relationships that might not have been consensual with Celtic staffers. So that's an issue. And I don't think he's ever going to coach with the Celtics again. Joe Muscala, 34 years old, will now be thrust into the Celtics organization as their new head coach after he has spent his time as an assistant coach since 2019, Peter. So, pretty crazy time for the Celtics, especially to throw in that Robert Williams is going to be out for 3 months after knee surgery, and after Danilo Gallinari blew out his knee overseas playing in a tournament in Europe.
Yeah, I mean, everything coming up Celtics. Ime Udoka did it
Yep.
to himself. You're the coach of the team. You have a wife. Not to be that guy, but like, look at his wife. Why would you do that?
Not his wife, but yeah, no, I got you.
Whatever. Other things. I mean, like, you're a coach. You should know better. All the players like you. That's why he didn't get fired right away. They don't want to piss off Tatum, Brown, and Marcus Smart. But like, I don't know. The whole story's not out yet, so I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate because it's just more reports.
Nobody
and
knows.
Like
but like, it's gonna get bad. TMZ's on it. Entertainment Weekly's on it. Everybody that shouldn't be on it is on it.
Here's my take on it. I think he will. He wasn't fired because I think it's some legal things going on. I think there's a lot of lawyers involved, and they can't technically fire him. I think there's like probably a money dispute going on as well. Whatever he did was bad because the Celtics are coming off a finals appearance. They were 2 games away from winning the thing. They have arguably the best young superstar in the game that likes his coach and all that sort of thing. They felt like they had a good thing going. Trust me, Udoka did something really bad to justify why they do it. They're not going to do this for no reason.
And they didn't
especially
even put out,
a week before the training camp starts.
They didn't even put out a statement either. Like right after
it was a day later.
All the teams do. Yeah, I mean,
day later. That tells you that whatever it wasn't good. It was, and it's ultimately going to cost him his job with the Celtics. He was in a perfect situation. He had a perfect roster. The superstars liked him. The organization liked him. Fans liked him, and he absolutely blew it, whatever it was. And so Peter, my question to you is, how does this is question 1 for you. How does this affect the Celtics team going forward with Joe Muscala as the head coach? And we'll probably do an NBA preview in a couple weeks too. So that's good.
Well, I don't know anything about Joe, whatever his name is. I assume he's worse than Ime Udoka. I assume that Tatum and Brown and Marcus Smart don't gravitate towards him. I mean, they should be fine. They should be a finals contender. I mean, Robert Williams out 3 months. That sucks. And I don't even know who that other guy is. I should know who that guy is. That tore his ACL.
Gallinari. Didn't know Gallinari.
Yeah, I should know who that is. So that guy that we traded for him?
Nope, Gallinari is the guy they signed in free agency. He's been around for a while. He's a shooter. But, so, here's a little bit of backstory on Joe Muscala, because, of course, I know who Joe Muscala is.
Yeah, I don't even.
Yeah.
You could say it was like Joe Schmo.
So Joe Missoula, Peter. Joe Missoula is from the great state of Rhode Island, Peter.
Oh
He's from
wow.
the great state. He's a local guy. He's been with the Celtics since 2019. He was a Brad Stevens hire. And he was a finalist, Peter, for the Utah Jazz job. He fell short to Will Hardy, who was also a Celtics assistant coach. So Missoula has no experience as a Division I head coach. He coached a little bit in Division II at Fairmont State, but he has no Division I or NBA head coaching experience. But Peter, the thing I shouldn't say the reason why he got the job, but a big reason why he was selected was because Jason Tatum loves him, like loves him. At the end of last year, Jason Tatum was asked about Joe Missoula because there was rumors that he was going to take an interview with the Jazz, and he was like, Joe Missoula's my guy, like this and that. He went on like a minute and a half about how much he loves Joe Missoula and that's his guy, which is positive. Tactically, we don't know anything about Joe Missoula. Rotationally, we have no idea how he thinks or how he operates. So, of course, he was with Brad Stevens the last 2 years, with Stevens' last 2 years, and then he was with Udoka this past year. So, a couple different philosophies because Stevens and Udoka do differ. But I'm interested to see. He's only 34 years old. It's not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. It is a downgrade. Udoka was a great coach defensively, instilled a good culture here on the court, but it's just something that is going to take a lot of players to get used to. And I think a lot of Celtics players don't even know what's going on. So, yeah.
Yep, sad story. I don't
Yeah.
want to. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Peter, question 2. It's almost Halloween, Peter. When should spooky season start?
October 1st.
October 1st, so next week.
That's when pumpkin spice should come out, not in August.
Okay. So you don't think Target should be selling Halloween stuff?
No, but I get why they do it.
Okay. I agree. Question 3, Peter. The Red Sox were officially eliminated from playoff contention. They pretty much were eliminated back in July when Chris Sale pretty much got hurt. But they officially got eliminated. So, Peter, you're Heim Bloom. What is the first thing you're doing in the offseason with the Boston Red Sox?
Resign Bogarts or resign Devers. It doesn't have to be both. Just give me one. You want to know a
Okay.
funny story about the Red Sox?
Sure, give it to me.
2 seconds. So I was at URI, shocker.
Shocker,
And then I was
shocker,
talking about
shocker.
and I was talking about the Red Sox, and the Sports Hub was on in the background, and this guy was like, it was a middle-aged guy, and I was just walking around because Hannah had class, and I was looking for something to do. I was like, hey, you ever listen to Tyler? I know Tyler. And he's like, yeah, I hate that guy. He's too much of a stats nerd. I was like, ooh. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, we love Tyler. Tyler's so big time, man. That's awesome.
And then I was like, ooh, okay.
Haters. We love Tyler Milliken. Don't
We
listen
love
to the
Tyler.
haters.
I love Tyler.
Don't listen to the haters, Tyler. And trust me, Tyler gets a lot of haters, but he's got more supporters than haters. I think. Oh yeah. Question number 4, Peter. This one's not. I'll save the sports related question for number 5. So we're gonna go with another a weird question, Peter. Okay, this one's kind of off the rail. So I was thinking this isn't really fall, but all right, Peter, if you're chewing sunflower seeds, right?
I'm not putting them in a stupid water bottle and saving it in your room. Is that what you're telling me?
I was not, but thanks for adding me. Appreciate that. But
yep.
what is your favorite flavor of sunflower seeds? Because somebody gave to me sunflower seeds that are Taco Supreme.
I've never had that.
I don't think I'd like it. I haven't opened it. So yeah, what is your go-to sunflower seeds?
The only ones that I've had is barbecue ranch and obviously the original. I like the ranch. It's pretty good. Where's your cup? Show it to the camera. I know you got it somewhere.
I do
where's
not.
your cup? Where's your cup? Nope. Where's your cup?
There's no cup. There's no cup. This is just Coca-Cola. This is an empty water bottle. There is no cup. I have 3 bags of sunflower seeds right here. I enjoy. No, I haven't. No, in the summer, I definitely buy them more than like the winter and the fall. Maybe it's because baseball or whatever else. I don't know. I do like them though.
Pumpkin seeds. That's where it's at.
I do like pumpkin seeds. I do. Those are very good. I'm with you on that one. All right, Peter. Question number 5. Zdeno Chara. He officially retired. Signed a 1-day contract with the Boston Bruins. What is your favorite Zdeno Chara memory?
2011 when he won the cup.
Really? That's not mine. Mine is when he played with a broken jaw.
Oh, should have done that.
Yeah, that's the
2018.
one that sticks out to me. It was
They
2018.
didn't even win it for him.
I know, but that's just what sticks out to me. Yeah. All right, Peter. I like that segment. I think that was pretty fun.
Yeah, do it every week.
You have a
That's
good
fun.
time with it, Peter? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time. All right. I mean, let's talk. Now we got to do an NBA preview sometime. Get
Yeah.
Noah.
Yeah. No.
No, they're obligated. Like we can work around that.
Yeah.
Enjoy
yeah,
The Walking Dead on Sunday. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And Matt, again, congratulations.
Boom. Yeah, Peter, you get your ass. I'll be ready for a Walking Dead question next week. We're ready.
Yeah,
and I will talk to Cara and Noah. They're of course always love to come on. So a couple weeks. The NBA season I think starts October 18th. So
yeah, we got time.
yeah.
Stay hot, everyone.